Page 10, Silent Night. This is an interesting arrangement of this, that there's a little bit of edginess throughout, and it's gentle. So it's still in the mood of the piece of Gentle Night, but it's an edgy night. So I'm going to go through my process of learning a piece of music, and you can follow along if you'd like. I'll look it over. I see it's 2 pages long. It's got repeat signs, so it's really longer than that. Okay. Treble and bass clef at the beginning. No sharps or flats in the key signature. This is in the key of C majors, so I'll make sure I do the scale for C major and the scale for A minor, because A minor has no sharps or flats either. I do them both. 3/4 time signature. At the beginning, I take it one hand at a time, make sure I understand what each hand needs to do. The right hand, you're starting here. The notes are here, but it has that 8 VA above it, so you're going to come up here. Basically, it's a C major scale going down. I mean, you might use different fingers on different keys, but the feeling is going to be about the same. So it's 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So you end up on second finger. This way you're ready for measure 5 here. 1 and 2. Now measure 9, you just come up. And then here. Any problem, I hope. On measure 23, you're here. Try and get these notes down at the same time. It's hard to do. You're lowering the hand down with those fingers. I don't do it, but the trick is you're coming off this note. Can you connect it? That's weird, but do the best you can there, and you lift up and come down. And then at the end, the bottom, again, that's the C major scale, but you're starting on a G. It doesn't matter what note you start on. You're just going all the way down to this G. And then the last measure, the right hand plays that top note, and that is an E. There. You see the line, dash line, or the solid line goes between the stabs there? It's telling you, go ahead and do that with the right hand. Generally, that line, when it goes between stabs, is telling you where the melody is going. But in this case, because your left hand is playing a note way off somewhere else, you have to play this note with the right hand because the other hand is somewhere else. So just play it with the right hand. They don't need that line, I guess is what I'm saying. Unless they want to tell you, bring out that note just a little bit. We'll get there later. Let's just do the notes first. Left hand, well, you start at measure 5 here. And then up here. Now, if you don't know what these chords are, spell them out. It's a G, an A, and a C. Now, this is the edginess. And again, no problem. Now, at the top of page 11, this is measure 20. Well, let's just start on measure 17. You're here, and then you hear thumb comes up, and then here thumb comes down. And then for measure 20, I recommend a 2-3. Here. You can use the thumb if you want, but I recommend a 2-3. This way I can use the thumb on the A. I just bring the thumb under and it's here. I'm ready. If I'm here, I'm out of position. So here, I'm here. You have to lift up because you got to play it again. Put the hands together. Well, the first line is just right hand. So measure 5. Are you here? Hold these left hand chords down as long as you can. So try and put the hands together. Now at the end, bottom of page 11, the last 2 measures, you're here. And the right hand plays this note, and the left hand gets that C here, but it has an AV8 under it, so you go down an octave here. Here. If you have a short keyboard, you don't have that C, you just play the lowest C you have. It's close enough. Now once I have the hands working together, then I go back through and I get rid of the hesitations. So it is a steady beat throughout. And then I can think about the articulation. In this piece, it's connected. Even the first line, even though there's no articulation listed, connect them. Here. And then we can lift up. I go ahead and lift up for the phrasing here. If you can, connect the left hand. I'm just lifting up in the right hand. See in the, I'm going to connect that here, but I'm lifting up in the right hand. put in the phrasing. It's about the only articulation I see. And then I think about the dynamics. P at the beginning is soft, whatever you think soft is here. You have a hairpin, you're going to swell up and come back down. You go about moderately soft. Slow down with a fermata, hang on to that for whatever feels right. And then medium soft in the MP mezzo piano. That's the melody. The left hand needs to be very soft. We want to hear the melody. Measure 12, you have it's very soft, come up to about a soft. Because in measure 13, that's moderately loud. So getting a little louder in the left hand, but you don't go all the way up to moderately loud because that's for the melody. And then measure 16. Come back down. Now you're soft. It's like an echo. Now, you're getting louder, and then moderately loud here. And on measure what, 23? This gets soft. Very soft. That PP belongs to the melody. They're putting it where they can within the staves. Just because it's close to the bottom staff doesn't mean it's bottom staff. No, it applies to the melody. The words are in the way on the other side. Here, and the left hand's got to stay out of the way. When you have a poco ritardo, slow down. And then mezzo piano there, measure 25 in the right hand. Left hand's very soft. Measure 29 is soft again like you were at the beginning. You come up a little bit and then go back down to very soft. And at the end, it's both hands there for the very end. Although according to what that line says, they want to hear that note. So I think you'll hear the note anyway if you play them both about the same. Speed, well, in moderato. The first line says freely. Freely just means you have a lot of leeway here. You don't have to play all those evenly, and so I can go. Freely means I just pretty much do what I want. Well, be musical about it. Don't get carried away. But the idea is, yes, you don't have to keep a nice steady beat. You get into it and you interpret the music. Same thing at the end. Freely means just whatever. You don't have to go at the speed you're going to go at measure 5. I can go quickly. And then measure 5, it's moderato. Not slow or fast, just in the middle. Now they've added pedal, and that'd be kind of nice because we'd like to connect this a little bit and we want the overtones. You see in slower pieces, when you have time to hear the notes, they last quite a bit longer. We'd like to give them a little color. Well, we do that by adding overtones. Now we do that by using the pedal. And for the most part, their pedaling is pretty good. You just have to listen to it because if it starts to get too mushy, then we got to fix it. That first line, they're telling you to pretty much smear all that together. I'll push the pedal down. Actually, when you have quick notes like this, you got to push the pedal down pretty much with the note. And as I play that C in that last, I clean it out. I lift the pedal up. And I lift the pedal up slowly. So I don't just here. There's times when I do that. In this piece, I'm kind of lifting the pedal up slowly, so I'm letting that other stuff fade out. Here. And then we go on. Now I'm pedaling after I play the notes. Change it after. If you want to hear the silence, you got to lift the pedal up with it. The problem is I get total silence. I can't connect the left hand. So I want to connect the left hand. I don't want total silence. So I may have to go ahead and lose the phrasing. I'm going to lift up. I want to feel the phrasing, but I won't hear it. I want to connect it. But I'm still going to lift up. Now on measure 12, I like to lift up on the third beat. I'll clear some of that out. So again, I'll measure 16, and I get this. I tend to not pedal the last beat. Now on measure 20 here, I lift the pedal up with the left hand on the first beat, and I don't pedal the eighth notes. I want those clean. So we'll just start at measure 17. Here, and on measure 23, I change the pedal on the third beat, and again at the measure. I don't want it to get too much because I'm dying away here. I want to lose some of the sound, so I'm changing the pedal on the third beat. Here, and now I'm going to lift the pedal up. I can get silence there. It's interpretation. I like a little silence here. If you don't want the silence, then you overlap the pedal. I will lift the pedal up there on measure 28. Whether I go on or repeat either one, I want a little silence there. Or if I go on. Now, at the end, the last line there, measure 29, we're here, and I'm pedaling it. They're smearing all that together. No. That's a bit much for me. Change the pedal on the last measure, here, down here. Because we're very soft and we want to lose all that other sound. So change the pedal. And again, you can use that fade out pedal that I showed you before, where the notes are here. You're very soft, it's going away. You let the keys up, keep the hands on the keys, just let the keys up, and then slowly lift the pedal, and the sound should slowly die away. And that's what you're after here. I don't want to be very soft here, and then all of a sudden, nothing. It's like, whoa. And again, on electronic, you have to experiment. Some do and some don't. If it doesn't, just turn the volume down. Fade out that way. You want to fade out is what I'm after. Please don't copy me. You get into it and you make it yours. Try and feel the music. You want to feel this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Even at the beginning on this, it's important. Feel that 1, 2, 3. Exaggerate it if you have to. Exaggerate it if you have, just like in the scale videos where I tell you to accent the different notes. That helps to give you the control you're going to need to play other things. So feel this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Feel the natural accents throughout. Now the repeat signs, you know how those work. Measure 28, you're going to repeat back to measure 5 because they got multiple verses. And you just keep repeating for however many verses you're going to do. If you're only going to do one verse, you don't repeat it. Just whatever. That's fine.